All right, we are finally live. How's it going, everybody? As always, is Master Swood. I'm joined by Mist, and we are back for another fun season of some NACE Overwatch. The preeminent Overwatch league, so to speak, nowadays, I would
Yeah.
say, given the events of yesterday.
No
Uh,
more competition
no more
for those
competition.
viewers.
It's just NACE, not contenders, not
No,
not any other league. I was gonna come up with one, I couldn't.
that's all right.
Yeah, Overwatch Esports is in a great place. Either way, we are back. You may remember that last time we were here, Mist and I were casting the finals of Overwatch White in their NACE league, and they won that finals 3-0. They went through the bracket and came out victorious. So now we have a new squad filled with some returning faces and some new faces that we are excited to have playing tonight. Ain't that right, Cam?
That's right. We have some of your favorites. If you're viewers from last year, we have the El Fuego, the Orisa warlord
Mm-hmm.
of on tank.
Mm-hmm.
We have Sean moving to DPS actually, which will be interesting.
Yeah.
We have Spasmatism with his Genji blades.
Of course.
We have Psychic.
Who you all may last remember as having killed 3 people, I think,
Oh,
on Mercy or
yeah.
something like that,
Yeah.
to win the finals. So
The Battle Mercy clip at the end.
a good time. A good time.
So a
but
lot going on.
yeah.
Lots to be excited about.
We also have some new faces. You'll definitely see the debut of Bradley Chi here, who is a support player
Yes.
on this new white team. Tell us a little bit about Bradley, Cameron.
Bradley's really impressed us a lot coming out of tryouts. I mean, we had a lot of returning faces, and for someone new to kind of come in and play really, really well, well on a lot of different heroes, has been very adaptable to metas, I think, from what I've watched. So I'm very excited to see them play tonight.
Yeah, yeah. We also have another support joining the fray, replacing kind of GIF's role, I think, a little bit from last year's Lochness. Loach is a Ana and Baptiste player. Like, I think that's her strength, and she shows them off pretty well, I'd say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we also at some point we'll see the debuts this season of Johnson's and Micah. Oh, that's a dox. Nightmarish.
It took
All
him
right,
15 minutes, everyone.
Yeah, not
Or,
even
well,
that
5
for
minutes.
the first
Yeah,
docs.
we went.
All right. I tried my best. But here we are. We're going to start out on Lijiang Tower. Not a surprise there.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's an NA match, you know, it's how it goes. Starting out on Lijiang, probably into King's Row second, you know how it is.
Yeah.
But what I'm really going to be interested to see here is what does Sean play here? So it's looking like UNC wanting to go the Orisa comp, possibly an Orisa mirror coming out from Lamar University. With the Alari, Alari Moira is one that you don't see every day.
Yeah, very interesting. We'll have to see if they choose to stick on that. For now, it looks like they are.
Yeah, UNC coming out on kind of the bread and butter of Bap Lucio.
Yeah, definitely some comfort picks, especially for El Fuego there on the Orisa. And we are off for this new season. We'll watch from Ark's perspective here on the Sombra for a little bit.
Looks like a TP play coming out.
Yeah, TP on the point, and you see that Overwatch White UNC White has chosen to go into the white room there, kind of on the right side of our screen right now. Said right about 16 times in that sentence, but here we are, back and at it. Establishing a good sense of control here with those Symmetra and Ayari kind of turrets set up on the point. Going to be pretty hard to break if UNC, but if any hero has the health to do it, it's going to be Orisa.
I do worry though about the sim on the side of Lamar. That's one of the few characters that can do that.
El Fuego gets speared and he gets melted.
Symmetra is brutal
Yeah.
to fight as Orisa. It's one of the only characters that can reliably shred through all of the defensive utility that she has. So I think for UNC it's going to be important to kind of out-rotate this and fight fast before Sim can actually get that level 3 beam up.
Yeah, the good news is for UNC, they have already come up on their first ult, and that's going to be Psychic having
that's
their
cool.
ult, but that's why you don't go bridge. The window is popped, but it's not going to matter. Psychic is down, as is the Soldier 76. That's Sean making his DPS debut. It's going to be a pretty comfortable fight win there for Lamar.
Yeah, good rotation from Lamar to get to that bridge to collapse before UNC is able to cross and to just kind of bully them off of it. Once you get that Orisa set up, that's why the sim is so valuable as well. Once you get Orisa set up, it's really hard to push past her, to push through her.
Yeah.
Sean going to use one of the only other tools that can potentially do it, which is the Bastion.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of Bastion here going on at the pro level, a lot of play. We actually see Sean go to the Bastion, Spasmatism go over to the Soldier, so kind of a roll reverse. So there's Spasmatism gets laid up, goes to 10 HP, but now it's going to be an engage from Bradley, and UNC will try to get aggressive here behind their Baptiste. Behind their Lucio ult. And Sean's actually going to find 2. Oh, but it's a huge ult combo coming out from Lamar University. They pop 3 ults themselves, I believe, and they are going to win that fight off the back of the Captain Sun from Alari and the Orisa Terra Surge.
Yeah, it's tough. Those first 2 fights, Lamar really didn't have to use much. We didn't really see any ults have to come out from them, which means what that gives you is the chance to use all of your ults to just win the point. Sean going for the jump.
Sean, I think, didn't know he can't make that jump. And Bradley here is going to get the touch along with El Fuego, who's going to pop his Terra Surge. An EMP is going to be used to counter. And all that Moira is flung so weak, but they can't quite find the kill. And El Fuego is going to get melted. UNC will fall here. Round 1 of Lijiang Tower goes the way of Lamar.
Yeah, I think it's really that sim for Lamar did so much work in letting them set up on point first, letting them win 2 fights without ulting and just using positional advantage. So they had 5 ults at like 70% on the point, which is very hard to retake through. UNC got a great push, good beat engage. Sean got 2 kills in his turret form, but ult advantage is ult advantage, and this is Overwatch.
Yeah, and I think UNC is realizing that they got to make sure they can get to this point. Sean has actually swapped over to the Symmetra.
Honestly, I like this.
Yeah, not a hero I've seen him play a lot. I have seen Spasmatism on this Reaper, though. He did that a lot of last season. You'll get a speed from Bradley here, and it's going to be race to point. Both teams will probably get there about the same time.
Looks like UNC is
or not.
first.
Yeah, UNC pretty comfortably
UNC
first. And
much
their
more
turrets are
set
they're
up.
melting. Wow, 2 kills already for UNC. It's going to be no mercy here. They're going to pursue this Orisa as well. That is, I think that's the advantage of the Lucio there. Instead of running the Ayari,
Yeah.
UNC is on the Lucio from Bradley. He can speed out of the spawn, then the TP. That gets you the point pretty comfortably first, and that gets you a fight win.
It's like the opposite of first fight.
Exactly.
We saw UNC get the setup first this time. Instead of Lamar, just like UNC did in map 1, Lamar just crumbles. That positional advantage so big. An early shift as well.
Yeah, very early
from
fortify
Modders.
usage, but Fuego's taking some damage himself, and he's actually just going to retreat to the point and hold here. They're going to use that advantage of the geometry of the map, use those sim turrets, try to anchor down like happened in the last round. Fuego doing some poking. Neither team really finding much of an advantage yet, and ults aren't up on either side. That Moira, again, is pretty weak, but he'll survive. Hack goes on to El Fuego and a Spear, but he's on Orisa. He's fine. He doesn't mind at all. Spasmatism just throwing some shots into the front line. Anybody's trying to find anything going on in this
Sean's
round.
poke will be deadly through this window. The buffed sim right click, it does a lot of damage anyway.
Yeah.
If anyone gets caught, there it is!
And that's the problem. That's why you cannot peek the window. An absolutely massive kill coming out from Sean onto the Sombra of all people. And that's going to buy UNC a lot of time. Still, Spasmatism in a bit of a weird spot here. We'll have to use that Wraith form to return to point. Yeah. I expect a re-engagement here with this Coalescence coming very soon. But it hasn't come just yet. Lamar's still going to have to wait to get all the way up to 5 people.
It's going to be a beat to counter it, most likely, from Bradley G.
Yeah, we have the Captain Sun. We have the wall dropped as well. Terra Surge will get the first kill. And yeah, the beat is not able to save Sean's life. UNC's down to 4 players here. Now the Cole finally comes out, but there's a counter Terra Surge. Cole finds one. Terra Surge finds one. It's about even. Big boop from Bradley. He gets the Orisa of all people somehow, even with that tank passive. El Fuego trying to find this Moira, who fades away from him, but there's another big kill from Bradley. Bradley is cleaning up in this fight.
Swood, you love a good frog.
I love a good frog.
See, I know you love to see Bradley G here popping off on the Lucio. We talked about him before the game as just being a very versatile player on a lot of different supports, and I think we're seeing that here.
Yeah, Lamar gonna have to get in pretty aggressive to get a touch, but Spasmatism will just walk into the backline and kill the Batiste. Now he's gonna pop his ult, and by the time that Sombra can come in with EMP, UNC's already killed about half the team,
Great
and that's gonna be a
proactive
team
fight.
kill. Nice fight by UNC, and again we see the person who got the first point control never gave it up.
100-0, flipping back in favor of UNC. I definitely love this comp from them. Moira is actually. This is not a very talked about matchup, but I think Moira into Reaper is like weirdly bad. It's very hard for. He can actually burst her through Healing Orb a lot of the time, so her survivability goes way down when there's a Reaper on her a lot of the time. And he's not really bothered by poke from Damage Orb or from Coalescence. So I really like this kind of Sim Reaper Lucio Bap look from UNC. Junkrat from Lamar University.
Yeah, and
we miss him
Spasmatism
too.
is actually going to offer the Bastion. We're going to see 2 Bastions. We're going to see Bastion and then a Junkrat. So on the side of Lamar. So UNC again is going to be able to get here first with the help of that speed boost and that TP. But I would say that Lamar's going to have a bit more spam with that Junkrat. It's going to be curious to see who can handle it, and it looks like it's not going to be UNC. Spasmatism falls first here.
Yeah, the question for Nautix here is going to be, can he play the game, really, against such high damage?
Lamp will come out. UNC will still be able to hold on to it. Actually, they use it here to help keep El Fuego alive, and he's going to fall regardless. I think he walked into that Bastion turret form, sentry form, whatever the form is. Nice dodge here by Psychic. They're going to have to try to get out with their life.
They punish this, actually.
It's going to be difficult.
Like
Orisa's a tanky enough target. And are they going to be able to get out?
Oh!
Not quite. It's good tracking here on the
Very
Orisa.
nice.
On the Spasmatism, who's again going to be an early casualty here.
Yeah, Spasmatism going onto the Soldier for this map kind of takes away a little bit of the upfront burst for UNC. Playing Soldier on this map is doable.
It's going to be a speed boost here for UNC and Bradley, trying to take some space and establish that high ground with the help of Sean's tank form, I want to call it. I forget what it actually is. Bradley actually will die, and despite the window coming out from Psychic, UNC has no supports. They got the first kill, but they won't be able to get anything more than that. It's actually going to be El Fuego running for the hills here, along with Spasmatism. We'll see if either of them gets out here.
It's a lot easier to defend control than it is to retake control.
Yeah, we're seeing that here.
As we've seen in this game, as no one has retaken a point in this entire map. Good awareness by El Fuego to eat that. That might have killed Spasmatism there.
Yeah, still a lot of ults online for Lamar. It's coming up on 4 here now.
Yeah.
It's going to be difficult for UNC to do much, if anything. But they're going to try with the help of Sean's Bastion ult. A lamp will come out, and there is a kill going the way for Spasmatism. But oh, the counter Bastion ult is much bigger. That is massive, and with the help of the Coalescence, again, Lamar's going to win this fight. Still a heavy investment, and they actually ended up popping tire towards the end. And that will get no value. So UNC will have the only ult on the field, but they will have to touch, and we're coming up on almost 85% here on Control Center.
Touch should be possible here for Bradley, at least, if not for El Fuego. El Fuego also building towards that Terra Surge. They need to get... yeah, and we're seeing Spasmatism get his position denied. And actually gets booped.
With the only ult on the field, he falls. And so now it's going to be up for UNC to try to survive this. El Fuego finds one, but UNC has no DPS alive. There's a Junkrat in the back line. Psychic's trying to take them out. And in the meantime, El Fuego is trying to deal the damage on point. They're very well split, but Bradley's still alive, trying to keep things topped up. The Junkrat gets about to half health, but they will take out Bradley. El Fuego trying to find the Junkrat. He does just in time, but he's on 4 HP. Can't live long enough. I don't think UNC is going to be able to touch. They cannot. The Tracer just too late. And we have no retake the entirety of Lijiang Tower.
300-0 maps.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
That's rare. Yeah, I don't think you see that every day. I think it speaks to how powerful Orisa is and her playstyle, that she's so hard to push into, to actually get any position going when she's set up. It's very hard to actually deal with her once she's actually holding a corner or holding point. Just hard to push her out, man.
Yeah, it's not the easiest task in the world. It's a valiant effort here from UNC. And you see they looked really good on Night Market here.
Yeah.
But just the problem of trying to push through in these Orisa comps, it's hard. And despite the fact that UNC was pretty consistently finding kills, they were also often the first one to get picked, and I think that also cost them in the long run.
Yeah, maybe some risky peaks for UNC, kind of on those first and third points on Gardens and on Control Center. Some risky peaks on the Bastion, especially letting the Bastion on the side of Lamar University get a couple of kind of just freebies
Yeah.
in that turret form. If you mistime your peak into Bastion, you're not going to be there long.
Yeah, so it is going to be 1-0 for Lamar so far. Still, I think this doesn't look like any sort of blowout to me. I mean, you see the triple 100. I don't know if I've ever seen that, but it's certainly indicative of two teams that want to just establish themselves on a point and never get rid of it, never give it up. And that will be an interesting phenomenon we'll see develop here as we move into hybrid of all map types, where you have the point and then you have the payload that you have to push through the streets.
Kings Row. It was also a heads-up play from Onion on the Lucio, I believe, to contest Spasmatism's visor angle and actually get the boop kill on him.
Yeah, I love as a Lucio watching for. I remember specific instances where I was watching soldiers gonna go up to that high ground because I knew they were gonna visor and just got that boop. It's a kind of a common soldier flank, and if you're a good Lucio, you're paying attention to that and you're ready because you know you're probably the best thing that can actually stop the soldier in that case scenario. We also saw some great Lucio plays from Bradley, which I do not want to understate here because he helped clutch up in probably the closest fight of Night Market. Actually booping an Orisa somehow, which
was it a boop off the map?
It was. I heard the voice line. Okay. I heard the Orisa falling voice line. So I don't know how that occurred, but props to Bradley.
Has occurred.
I don't think I've booped an Orisa ever, so. Certainly not in Overwatch 2. No. But
maybe if you tried harder,
maybe, yeah, you
could boop her further.
Yeah. Boop is a fun ability. Speaking of fun, we're on Kings Row. I think we called this going into Lijiang. This was kind of
North American scrims or not scrims match. If this was scrims, it would be the same thing. Just to give you a little peek behind the curtain. Lijiang into Kings Row. Classic. We love Rush in this region.
Yeah, that's just the way it goes.
I'm expecting to see more Orisa, and I'm not going to be disappointed.
Yeah, El Fuego is showing the Orisa.
You love current Overwatch.
Yeah, Orisa pretty strong right now.
Definitely.
We did see some kind of mixing of the Sigma, even the Reinhardt in the Owl playoffs. But I think Orisa is just fairly strong baseline.
If you're hottie, you can play Ryan.
Or if
no
you're
one
someone,
else allowed.
I'm just
someone
thankful.
Play Ryan?
Someone played a lot of Ryan.
Okay.
See, I'm just thankful that we don't have someone on the UNC team named someone, so that I don't have to
makes it hard.
Who's on first routine every time we cast a match.
The worst was that short period where Seoul Dynasty had Prophet and Prophet spelled a different way.
Yep, that is true.
That was horrible.
All right. So you'll see UNC will start here on the defense. We'll actually see Spasmatism on the Hanzo, which is a bit of a different look from the first map. This Widow looking
Zen,
for a
for UNC, definitely playing to make Orisa's life miserable. Just can it happen? El Fuego getting really low.
El Fuego is tempting fate here. Well,
it's about 4 headshots.
He thinks he's a god here on Orisa. Unfortunately, you can still get hit by Widow headshots on Orisa. Now, maybe that's why he pops that Fortify. Actually, UNC is going to find their first kill. And El Fuego's going to look up pretty good. Psychic actually finding first blood.
Yeah, you call Psychic one of those bloodthirsty supports, I believe.
That's for sure. And
your terminology. And
proving me right as ever.
We're going to start to see it.
I think we saw a lot more of Jif on the Zenyatta last year. Jif, a pretty strong Zenyatta player, but Psychic proving that they got that in their back pocket as well.
If you want to watch the Jif himself, watch UNC Overwatch Blue.
A shameless plug from Mist here.
Completely shameless.
Wow, Psychic has found 3 kills. They're having trouble dealing with this Discord orb, and I think they kind of came out on the Zen thinking, oh, well, we got really close to killing the Orisa a few times. Maybe if we had the Discord, we'd be able to burn them down. You know, it's a lot easier to kind of put pressure on that tank to grab more space with the help of the Discord. But Psychic just said, yeah, I can just shoot whoever.
Yeah, and I think it's a very different situation for Nautix than it is for El Fuego, because I think if El Fuego was playing not as safe as Nautix.
Psychic has found another pick.
Playing more aggressive, playing more away from cover, kind of playing more fast and loose with his life, but it's Nautic is the one that's dying, because Baptiste, Zen, Hanzo, Bastion, that is really tough to play into as a tank, as any tank, even Orisa.
Spasmatism tempting fade a little bit there. He will back up. I think Psychic has found like 6 kills so far, so let's see if they can get any more. It's a pretty good way to start the fight.
A healing pylon's down. Sean
very
goes
weak
to.
is Sean. He goes down to 9 HP. But
there's not going to be a lamp for El Fuego if he's still out. He is going to back
still,
up.
the lamp was timely here for Sean. And it's
the-
actually the
that's the
Captain
ult
Sun in a
combo
massive push. The Zenyatta trans ultimate is not going to be near enough. And Terra Surge even invested as well, but it's only going to find the Ayari. That was a massive ult fight from Lamar, and they are finally able to dislodge UNC with the help of a lot of ultimates.
Yeah, 4 ultimates used for Lamar, but you don't like to be stuck on King's Row A. There's a few spots on King's Row that are very devious to get stuck at, and one of them is just point A. Can be a very tricky one to cap if you lose a couple fights. If you invest ults and you don't win, it can be a very, very tricky point to get. So Lamar just dumps most of their entire ult bank into winning it. Can't really fault him for it.
Another one of those spots is that choke that the card is actually going through right about now. A good lamp from Bradley.
Very dangerous peak.
Yeah, members of UNC falling very weak, taking a lot of damage. There's actually going to be a Hanzo ult and a Baptiste window, and it's going to be a trade of 2 for 2 so far. Spasmatism will find the Bastion in a key pick, but both teams running out of resources, running out of health, and it's just going to be Sean sniping in Sentry form of all things that's going to finally bring this fight to its ultimate conclusion. El Fuego was just getting in there, and Sean able to kind of capitalize off of the chaos.
Sean looks like he's having fun on this Bastion, to me, Swood. I don't know. I think he's enjoying himself.
I think he's, you know, Sean's always had a bit of a devious streak. If there ever was a hero to embody that, it's got to be the Bastion.
They could definitely be argued it's the Bastion.
Yeah, still, UNC's going to give up a little bit of space here because they're still waiting for their team to come in. Lamar does have the closer spawn, and it's about to be equidistant at this point. UNC still poking Psychic, trying to find some more picks as they were doing on first point. And it's actually going to be Sean popping the Bastion form, trying to find some damage. The Orisa will fortify, and they'll be able to pretty well survive that.
Look at how much damage she's taking. Even
Lamps
for
will
gold.
come out from both sides, and El Fuego's falling pretty weak, but will get topped up with the help of Bradley and Psychic. Not an ult on the field here for UNC. The only ult on the field actually is the Terra Surge, and now the window, which gets popped instantly, and UNC will fall to that window damage. I don't think they're going to be able to survive through this unless they find a way to take out that Orisa, but not quite. El Fuego is going to run for the hills. Psychic will get killed at the hands of a spear and a Bastion, and UNC is going to have to hold third here.
Yeah.
Oh, nice spear.
That was violent. Yeah, if you're UNC, this is a tricky situation because Lamar has capped, again, kind of like what we talked about on the very first point of Lijiang, capped the point with ults. Didn't have to blow every ult to actually full cap second, which means they have a nice ult fight here to try to push through third. UNC needs to use this trance wisely from Psychic to try to neutralize this ult push.
We have a Sojourner
combo.
combo with a Terra Surge. Will it get any kills? Doesn't look like it. Actually, the counter Terra Surge that's going to find the kills. And all of a sudden, UNC, they're running out of bodies to get on this point. 2.5 minutes is about what the clock is at, and they're going to need to find a way to touch her. It's going to be a cap for Lamar.
Yeah,
I'm not sure they're going to be able to do it.
No.
No, not quite. And it's a shame because UNC had those support ultimates as on third point there. You'll see Psychic actually tries to pop that trans at the end to get to point, but it's all for naught. And so UNC will have to attack and will have to cap with time if they have a chance of winning this map.
Yeah, this is tough. I think we're seeing Bastion kind of used for Lamar to punish these kind of greedy peaks from UNC is how I would describe it. Kind of maybe it's going for like one more Hanzo arrow or one more javelin or one more, like just trying to get in that little bit more damage and just getting very hard punished for it right now. Because Bastion in turret form, especially you throw a BAP window on him, things just were there and then they are not there anymore. Spasmatism gonna look potentially at the Genji. I'm not opposed to that pick at all.
Yeah, Spasmatism, probably their strongest comfort pick is the Genji here.
Comfortable on the pick and a great answer, and well, at least an underrated answer into Bastion. can use deflect just to stall out turret form, and Bastion without turret form is not incredibly useful. Bastion with turret form is extremely useful. So if you can stall it out, put that on cooldown without it doing too much to your team, it's a great use of deflect. So
Yeah,
that's really going to be Spasm.
UNC mused on the Diva, but will return to the Orisa, which I think is probably the right call given that they're fighting into this much damage.
Yeah.
And it'll be El Fuego kind of going through Hotel here, a bit of a flank. Try to get aggressive, establish some sort of angle here. But taking a lot of poke. Land is actually used pretty early, I think, from UNC. But the first kill goes the way of Sean. Nice grab on the Hanzo here. Bastion ult form is used, and so if UNC can survive that, they have a serious chance of winning this fight. Spasmatism goes down to about 2 HP and then finally falls. Sean trying to find some sort of kill here to answer.
Sean's 82 to Dragon right now.
Yeah, Sean's finding a ton of damage, but still, UNC is going to have to try to take some space, and it's going to be difficult into this Bastion.
I do like how Sean is peeking this Bastion. I'm much more careful using Hanzo's ability to
Yeah, he's already got this Dragon. Discord going on to the Saritsu, who's falling weak, but Sean's going to have to hold on to this one because the re-engagement from Lamar here is too quick. Along with that Lucio and that Orisa, they take space and they kill UNC. Everybody but Spasmatism.
Yeah, the push for UNC repelled, but Window is a massive swing, especially if you can just push onto this point and then be able to window. It puts so much pressure on the defending team to both touch the point and not get shot.
And Bradley had ult when I believe Arc was at like 50%, so a big window advantage here. Sean again will find a kill and actually finds Arc. And UNC trying to find some extra damage, and they will. Sean's just killing everything. Takes out the Orisa.
It's 4.
Does find the Lucio as he dies, and El Fuego will help finish off the fight. So UNC will cap here with about 2 minutes left on the clock.
Yeah, it's 4 kills for Sean that fight. He has another Dragon. Very impressive Hanzo showing right now. I think it's interesting. Lamar started out on the BAP, on the Baptiste for Onion, I believe. Swapped to Lucio potentially after getting picked by Sean, if I'm remembering right. And that means it's harder to mirror the window. But coming up on some ults is Lamar. Maybe able to get a nice hold onto this corner. It may be a Dragon Blade to break that hold if Spasmatism can get something going in that regard.
Yeah, so it's going to be, it's all about breaking through this choke now if you're UNC. I mentioned it earlier, it's a bit of a tough choke to go through, and so especially with, okay, I think this is going to be a Terror Surge.
This is aggressive.
This is a very aggressive Terror Surge from El Fuego here. We'll get the lamp to help survive through, and the Dragon was comboed, but now it's the time for Lamar. Psychic's going to pop their ult, but it's still not enough to keep Bradley up. That Terror Surge will come through, but a big kill. Spasmatism using that deflect, and now he'll go in with the Genji Blade, trying to find kills. Does get the Bastion, but he'll die soon after. But with El Fuego alive, I think this is going to be at least some progress here for UNC.
It's a scrappy fight. Very punishable is El Fuego right now if he's not careful.
Yeah. Still, but Psychic continuing their bloodthirsty reign, finding a pick, and that is absolutely massive. That's onto the Sojourn there.
Yeah, that's a really huge tempo swing. If that doesn't happen, Lamar can group as 5. Now they can only group as 4 to defend this second point.
UNC's DPS taking a lot of damage.
Alive?
They're able to live. Bradley again pops a nice lamp, and now he's going to pop his window as well. Kill goes on to Lamar first. Again, they take out the tank, and that's the biggest kill you can get on the field. El Fuego feels very weak, but he's able to get topped up. And again, Psychic is just finding kill after kill on this Zenyatta. And the supports are able to keep El Fuego alive. A good stall attempt here from Onion, but it's not going to be near enough. And UNC, again, is rolling into third here with 4 minutes. That's more time, I believe, than Lamar had when they reached third. Now they got to capitalize.
Yeah, in Overwatch 1, we got to see Psychic kind of shoot a lot of shields. But with no shields anywhere to be found, now we get to see Psychic shoot a lot of heads. As we see just kill after kill coming out. Really, Sean and Psychic kind of putting this on their back. Great lamps as well from Bradley Chi.
Yeah, Bradley's had some nice lamps, and now we're going to have to see what UNC is able to do with this Dragon. Ooh, falling very weak into Sean, but he'll get healed up. And again, he's able to establish himself on this high ground. That is a flying too close to the sun moment, if I've ever seen one.
It certainly is.
There's going to be an engage. The artillery form is able to find one, but UNC is still running it down, trying to finish this horse now. Not able to do so quite yet. They barricade themselves into the back, but now they're able to collect the kills. Terra Surge is going to be online here for El Fuego. It looks like he's going to try to... in fact, he chooses actually to come back to the point. Spear doesn't find anything, but the Dragon doesn't either. Terra Surge coming out. Psychic is finding kills left and right, and will pop the Transcendence. Terra Surge doesn't find anything, but is a zone.
Well timed.
There's just one player alive here. It's just the Moira. And UNC will cap with more time than Lamar had. An absolutely exquisite push from UNC here. Going through second and third point with the help of those big tempo kills, oftentimes from Psychic.
From Psychic, huge picks, heroics from Sean as well. Really kind of coming alive for UNC, giving an huge, as you said, with kind of tempo shifts. Kind of creating these advantage fights is what UNC's comp is so great at doing. With Zenyatta, with Hanzo, even with Genji. That pick potential is so high. Orisa can kind of get the picks in an indirect way. She can, for lack of a better word, she can kind of kidnap a player on the enemy team and force them into
Just send them into a corner.
A really terrible position or in a corner or something. And that can generate a pick. I think we kind of saw that with the Orisa for Lamar on UNC's second point push. Nautix kind of getting caught out a little bit. I believe El Fuego was kind of pushing him into UNC, which is a brilliant move for Orisa to do. UNC's comp just plays so hard for these picks, for these advantage fights, and if they're finding them, they're going to win these fights. It all comes down to that.
Curious to see this Widow again. Last time we saw El Fuego just unperturbed by the fact that he was taking headshot after headshot. This time, doesn't look like finding as much success for now. And we do see Spasmatism on the Bastion, I will note.
Similar positioning from El Fuego. Kind of playing around statue, which can be very advantageous, stop pushes, but can also be extremely dangerous.
Oh, you can see how much damage the Discord Orb is doing. And with the help of Spasmatism on that Bastion, UNC is going to find that kill on the Nautix. El Fuego trying to find that kill.
I'm glad I play DPS now.
Just can't quite do it, and we'll end up backing off. Yeah, as Cameron here laments about the fact that Discord Orb exists.
That was some tank experience right there. A tank roll, as we saw from Nautix, just absolutely evaporating with Discord Bastion Hanzo.
UNC's taking a lot of damage here, but it's actually going to be Sean hopping onto that off angle through Hotel and finding a kill. He's actually going to stay here, looking for anything, finding a little bit of chip damage, but isn't able to find another kill. He actually gets speared. Nice shot there from the Orisa. He'll get a good view.
And this is a game of time, right? Because now, down a player, Lamar can't push. So Sean is effectively by himself, just kind of taking about 20 seconds off the clock. That Lamar could have been working with.
Yeah, it should be noted Bradley has a window already. And it's going to be comboed with Sean, who's actually able to find a kill. I can't believe that Lamar peeked that there, but nice job by UNC taking advantage of that mistake. Now they got to deal with the counter window. And you see Spasmatism's in a bit of a tough position, and Psychic, I think, could have popped that trans, but still, UNC are keeping things even for now. El Fuego's still online. Now we see the trans popped. We see the coal, and that will expire here as Onion, that's the other support, falling back.
So low.
Big kill. El Fuego is able to find it. The Tire
gets nothing.
Doesn't get anything. Nice lamp from Bradley. It's going to make it stall out. It's going to be hard for Lamar to get a touch here, but they are able to get, I believe, the Moira Fate's on the point. And actually, the kills are going the way of Lamar. El Fuego unable to find anything right here. And UNC, they do get one with Spasmatism coming back in his form. It's just the DPS alive for UNC. Will they be able to find these kills? It doesn't look like it. Wow, a scrappy fight, and Lamar ends up winning it in the end.
Lamar ends up winning it and has ults to make this a push. Has the railgun with Sojourn and the Terra Surge from Orisa. But UNC has the ults, if they can play this well, to counter. Gonna be window soon, as we've seen Bradley building these so quick. And Bastion ult, as well as Dragon Strike from Hanzo, from Sean, offers a lot of zoning. If you can kind of Hanzo ult them into maybe like this small room here, I believe it's bookstore, and you hit a Dragon Strike, I mean, that's a huge combo. So it's really just who's going to maximize these ults.
Nice spear on the entrance. UNC making their presence known. They do get the lamp out. Now it's going to be a Dragon trying to find some kills. They are able to get one, and El Fuego will also find a second one here. nice job from UNC using their ults to take spades and take the fight to Lamar. They're
Yep.
going to stop Lamar in their tracks right past this choke on second point, Kings Row Street.
Yeah, and this is what you love to see if you're UNC. No ults in the bank as the round ends, but Arc had that Sojourn ult, which means UNC ulted first. UNC ulted first, got the pick on that high priority target. The Sojourn with ult is definitely a high priority target.
For sure.
It can do a lot of hurt. And UNC kind of took the fight there on their terms. So kind of stopping that cart in not a terrible position at all for them, kind of just past that choke. If UNC is able to cap first, I think there's a pretty good chance that they can manage getting to that point. I think in a second we're going to see just where that victory box lies. Yeah, in the middle of kind of that first streets area, not around the second corner, which is a big deal.
Yeah. When I see a victory box there, I think of that, shall we say, infamous XQC clip.
Oh no!
Do you know what I'm talking about?
I think so.
Yeah. We probably can't play that one on stream for a multitude of reasons. But suffice to say, it can get pretty stressful if you're fighting through these chokes here on Kings Row, especially in overtime.
Oh yeah.
And we get a peek into the extended area of this map. That was in the PvE mode. Thank you to our prod there.
Not hiding it anymore, are we, Blizzard?
No. Hey, the PvP and the PvE are equally weighted in our hearts, except for the fact that they're not.
Yeah. So Sean on this Hanzo again, Psychic on this Zen, massive pick advantage.
It's actually an early use of the Bastion turret form here.
If either of these two players can find a headshot pick, it is absolutely gigantic.
Yeah, or
for
Psychic
UNC's
can find a
chances of
headshot
winning.
kill, to be honest, because Psychic has been finding
Oh,
a
yeah.
lot of picks here for UNC. Now, Fuego kind
one of the
of
two.
inching onto this point, trying to find his way on without engaging too much. And actually, it might be a bit of a tempo lap, trying to keep Sean up as he is in his turret form. But Fuego's falling pretty weak. We'll get the orb from Psychic, but players on UNC aren't able to find anything just yet. Discord will reply. That horse is in a bit of a promiscuous position, but it'll be Spasmatism, actually, excuse me, on the Bastion, who's taken out first. UNC going to be forced to answer here. And actually a bit of a flank here around Statue from this Orisa. Still, UNC unable to find too much.
Yeah, Lamar is playing this much smarter, I think, than their initial defense. I love this from Sean, though,
Yeah, there's a big
this is going to
position.
force a
And
lot
Bradley,
of
again,
positions.
has a window very early, although he will fall. There's a big kill for UNC, but unless they can find another one, I don't think it's going to be as fruitful as they would have hoped.
Can Sean survive up here? He's got the Harmony Orb. No!
The
Big
answer is
play
no.
from Onion. Again, just like on Control Center. Shuts down that angle.
Yeah, we are
from a
down to
DPS.
60 seconds here. Psychic does have the trans. I think that's the
It'll
most
be 4
important ult
ults
on
for
the
both
field.
teams here. This is going to be... If you know those posts that are like, how am I supposed to follow along with what's happening in Overwatch? It's... Get ready.
This will be one of those. I think we'll see it first.
You're probably
whenever
about to see 8 ultimates.
Whenever this artillery strike comes out, I think that will happen. But it might be
There
a
it
dragon
is.
first. Artillery strike is actually first going to come
Psychic
out from
down.
Lamar, and Psychic falls. And Psychic had the trans. I wonder if UNC is going to commit any ults to this fight, knowing they lost Psychic. The answer is
They
yes.
are.
It's a Terror Surge. It's a Dragon. It's a Bastion ult. They all collect to only find 1 kill, make it 2. There's a Tactical Visor on the flank here that actually finds 1 as well. And UNC, they keep things even,
Psychic
but it's
might
going
be able to get
difficult.
back with the trans
Yeah.
for this fight.
Popping
Can
the
they
turret farm.
touch?
UNC's got the
They
touch.
need a trans for the touch,
The trans
probably.
trying to get the touch. They finally do
Oops.
get it. Instead, there's a Terror Surge, though, coming out. Will Psychic be able to keep their team alive? El Fuego's falling pretty weak on the point, but Psychic finds a big kill. 2 kills now for UNC as Sean collects another. It's just going to be a stall from a Lucio, and this is going to be about as close as things can get here as we go on to the next point of Kings Row. It's going to be a cap for UNC. They're only going to have 1 ult online if they can even get that.
Yeah, and we see 2 for Psychic there and 2 for Sean. It's these two players really stepping up right now, finding these kills in these fights. It's going to be one last fight to determine this entire map. One last 5v5 fight. If you're... Ooh,
Yeah,
decent poke there from Spasmatism.
Fuego swapped to the Diva to
It'll be a mostly
try
ultless
to get
fight.
back, and he's actually in pilot
El
form.
Fuego
So
needs mech.
yeah, UNC
stat.
is not trying to take this
Finds
fight
it.
right now. And now they finally get it. El Fuego will be able to stop some of that damage. It's going to be just piling onto the choke. He's able to eat that Moira Orb as well. It's going to be up to Bradley and his ultimate. It's the only ultimate on the field right now. Will he be able to find anything?
Oh,
it's
what a
big,
play!
Absolutely massive kill coming out from Bradley. Is able to collect onto the soldier. Pulse Bomb goes wide. There's 2 kills from Bradley. Make it 3 for the side of UNC, and they're going to be able to walk this in. What a play from Bradley. Find the perfect moment to pop that ultimate and capitalize on the positioning of that Soldier 76. UNC, things were looking dicey a bit at the beginning, but they come back, and they come back strong. It's going to be 1-1 following King's Row.
What a smooth window there at the end from Bradley. But we're gonna watch Psychic for a second. We're gonna see what happens here.
Yeah, Psychic was tearing it up at home.
Absolutely tearing it up. The third DPS that we all need sometimes. But yeah, what a clean window play at the end. Doesn't window too far back. Waits for Lamar to kind of commit a peek there, and then hard punishes it with. I don't know if that was a triple headshot. It might have been a double headshot and maybe a body shot.
It was enough. That's what it was.
But it was enough. It was enough damage to make sure that was a kill. Just beautiful pick. Support is strong.
It definitely is.
You can make big plays on the support role, as we saw both from Psychic and from Bradley.
Yeah.
And we're going to be going on to
Flashpoint.
On to Flashpoint.
Now I'm going to tell our prod. I'm going to tell our prod. This is professional stuff right here. I'm going to tell our prod. Hey prod, throw us to a break for 1 minute. Okay. We'll be right back, and we're gonna make sure that these guys don't mess up the Flashpoint settings, and we'll explain why afterwards. Alrighty. Welcome back, everybody. I hope you didn't get too bored while we were gone. I know you missed us a lot.
We
Uh,
missed you too.
so, we were just setting up for Flashpoint, which is the newest game mode in Overwatch 2. Cameron, you want to talk a little bit about Flashpoint?
Yeah, Flashpoint's fun, I think.
I agree.
kind of enjoy
I
it.
love it.
Some people don't like it. I like it. I think it's better than the push game mode. But essentially what Flashpoint is if you're unfamiliar, but you are more familiar with like older Overwatch, it's basically the control maps that you know, like Lijiang or Ilios, played all at once with no break in the middle between the points. It's best of 5. The points cap pretty fast, and there's kind of 5 capture points. It's first to 3 capture points wins.
Yep.
Pretty standard stuff.
Yeah. Classic. Yeah, so there's 2 Flashpoint maps that are currently in the game. Saravasa and New Junk City. Do we have a choice coming out from either side? Or, excuse me, from Lamar? What was that? We're on New Junk City. So, a kind of a map that's a bit similar to Junkertown in terms of aesthetic. It's kind of supposed to be the like the actual sort of city near Junkertown.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
a little less ruinous than Junkertown.
Yeah,
probably.
slightly better, I guess.
Yes.
As good as Australia gets in
Yeah.
2070 or
Just
whatever.
saw a sign with just a kangaroo on it. I guess that's common down under.
Yeah. We don't stereotype at all here.
No, we're very respectful of all people.
Yep, and I hope everybody has a good day, mate.
Yeah.
There we go, kangaroo crossing.
Now this I'm interested in. So for Lamar, if I'm not mistaken, Onion was on support, Nautix was on tank, Arc is the same.
Yeah.
I believe Ember is the same.
Ember's the same as well, yes.
And it's going to be Senpai taking over the tank role from Nautix, playing Orisa. So changing it up.
I don't think this is like definitely not any sort of troll move because UNC
They
just
just
tied
lost
it up
the
in 1. I think this is just a strategy that
I
they
think
had
it is a strategy.
for whatever reason. We'll have to see why. Perhaps the
It could be
Junkrat
the
is
Lucio
insane. It could be the
angle,
Lucio.
For Nautix. Maybe
Yeah.
Nautix is a
Either
Lucio
way,
player.
it's going to be both teams kind of trading poke in this sort of center area, not choosing to drop down to the arena, which I think is a good choice because you get down there, you get kind of smothered by all the damage coming from the high ground. And
Yeah.
UNC kind of maneuvering their way around the outside of the point.
Sean takes a javelin to the face there. And it's really going to be this kind of battle of who blinks first. Sean gets some good damage there onto the back line.
Yeah, UNC almost able to cap, but not quite. There's going to be the contest coming through from Lamar. Still finding some good poke. El Fuego's just going to be anchoring down to this point as always. And neither side's able to find an advantage until now. Spasm will fall first, and soon after will be Psychic. And it's going to be Lamar establishing first control here on Arena.
Yeah, Lamar seems to like to play this Moira.
And Bradley gets killed at the end of this fight here.
Yeah. Yeah, Lamar seems to like this Moira pick for them, which is a little unfortunate for Spasmatism on Genji, since that can be a tricky matchup. I think I've seen Spasmatism die a couple times to just an orb being slightly too close to him.
Yeah, good spotting of that trap there from Spasmatism. We'll see if he'll be able to find anything here. Nice deflect. He's able to get some good damage in, but El Fuego's already getting a bit blown up. They're not going to perturb UNC from pushing in with this speed boost and with Spasmatism ready to find anything that falls weak. Nothing's going to be doing so just quite yet, though. Orisa's actually taking some decent amount of damage. Spasmatism's on an off angle, but the beat is already online for Lamar. Nice job, and oh no, Spasmatism walks into a trap, tries to do damage with the help of this window, but is unable to find anything, getting melted down by this coal, and it will actually be Arc finding the final kill there. UNC is, I think, going to have to lose here on Arena. They're going to have to transition to the next point.
Yeah, if you're UNC, though, all isn't lost. Some is lost. Precisely 1 point is lost, I guess. But you did get both support ults out. Now, you did use the window visor, although not really in tandem for UNC White. Both ultimates were used. However, UNC is going to have the beat advantage.
Yeah, they will have the beat. They will also have Spasmatism, though, which can pretty much go uncountered other than the DPS ults on the side of Lamar. No
Or just
support
dying.
ults. Well, yeah, it's
Like
not great.
that.
And Spasmatism falls,
It's a
but
trade, though.
there is a trade. Sean finds the Lucio. Still, with that Blade online, you probably not really want to take that trade in that specific instance. Nonetheless, it's going to be Sean just kind of standing up here, doing whatever he wants, just kind of poking. Will he be able to find a kill, though? As Lamar's trying to establish himself on the point, and they get aggressive, and they murder UNC there. That was a quick demise from the side of UNC. They fall pretty quickly, and it's going to be another cap here onto this point, which I do not remember the name of.
I don't think I've learned the names of any of them.
I think I
just
know
know
most of them.
it's this one. I know it in my head.
See,
I know what it looks like.
I want to call this one Junkyard, which just seems
That is what
wrong.
the sign says.
Oh, well, maybe it's that.
Maybe it is Junkyard.
Okay.
I think it is, actually.
Nonetheless, UNC didn't pop any of their ults there, so they do still have those online.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see what they're going to try to do with them. They're going to take space with the help of Deflect. And we do have a tire coming out. Oh, okay. The beat actually gets off, I think.
Yeah,
and the kill goes online onto the Junkrat. That may be tense up as a Lucio player. I think Cameron saw it here in the studio, but for some reason the beat didn't get canceled. I'm not sure how, and UNC is actually able to win that pretty comfortably. They do lose El Fuego towards the end.
They should be able to get El Fuego back.
I agree.
The question really becomes, can they position El Fuego in a way that lets or that prevents Lamar from actually pushing in and taking a bunch of space before he can get back. Looks like it's going to be a taxi angle for Bradley. UNC has an ult combo here, though. Yeah, and they do get El Fuego back.
It's a high noon. Players from UNC hiding their heads.
Ooh.
And that high noon will expire. Okay,
Oh.
never mind. Actually, Psychic dies. And so UNC is down their Batiste, and that's their biggest source of healing. And with Lamar already at 76%, that puts them basically in one fight. And I think this is going to go, again, the way of Lamar here. UNC's bleeding players. And El Fuego will fall 76% Lamar. This cap goes really fast. It's much faster than Control. It's going to be hard for UNC to touch. I'm not sure if they will even opt to do so.
My guess is that Psychic thought that the ult had ended, but Arc had still been holding on. And so it's going to be 2-0.
Yeah, you see UNC is
opening this flashpoint.
Opting not to fight this, and they're actually going to rotate to wherever the next point is.
And both support.
And it actually is bomb
Lamar
flats, so it's
too.
actually pretty close here. This is the closest point from the Junkyard is bomb flats. And UNC is actually there first because they chose not to fight. So if they're able to at least fend off Lamar for a little bit, they will get first cap and maybe be able to establish some percentage as the fight goes on.
It's smart positioning for UNC because it's just like on Lijiang, like we talked about. It's controlling that kind of point first.
UNC is going to use the Terror Surge, but it's countered by the beat and the Cole. A Dragon's not going to find much. Terror Surge coming online for Lamar, and they find the first kill. They find the second kill. Again, they are just establishing themselves on these points, and UNC is unable to do anything.
When you can win a fight with, when you can kind of cap a point using only High Noon, that's why you love that so much, because now you have Coalescence and Beat and Terra Surge to keep your team alive through UNC's ult combo. UNC is going to have a similar combo when it comes to having their support ults online, as Bradley goes over to Mercy.
Yeah, El Fuego's
and
on
El Fuego
the
to
Diva. Yeah, El Fuego Diva as well. Bit of an interesting comp here. I think they're going to be looking to try to help pocket Sean here on this Sojourn.
Yeah.
Let's see if he's able to do anything with it.
Where this is going.
UNC will start off with this window, and they're able to take a decent amount of space. They might be able to actually just clean cap the point here. And they will.
They will get the flip.
The window gets them the point. No one's died yet, but I'll take window for percentage here if I'm UNC. But then again, there goes Sean.
Is this res possible? It doesn't look like it.
We'll have to see, but Spazos is falling pretty weak in the meantime. Yeah, he'll die. El Fuego is going to try to stall out best on point, but again, he will fall momentarily as well. And so the cap will go back over to Lamar, and we're in the waning moments of this map if Lamar is able to win this fight. Already at 70%. Like I said, this cap goes pretty quick. By the time Bradley and Psychic respawn here, it's already close to 80%. UNC's going to have to speed run this. Psychic not switching to a speed character. They switched to Zen. It might be up to Spasmatism to kind of go in with this blade and clutch the point.
Yeah, it likely is, and it's
94,
unfortunate
95?
because you love Bradley to...
El Fuego actually does get on.
Yeah, okay, so...
Except Sean's going to fall first. Again, now we have Spasmatism going in with the blade. Finds one kill, can't find a second. But in the meantime, it did buy time for Bradley to find that res onto Sean. But El Fuego's getting melted. Doesn't have the support he needs to stay alive. Bradley is able to pop the Valkyrie, but will he be able to keep this team up? There's going to be a Sojourn pop, but it's going to be countered by a perfectly timed beat. And it doesn't look like UNC has any momentum here. They find one, they find two. Sean's trying to do anything to keep this point alive, but he's going to be unable to do so. It's a 3-0 on Flashpoint, and UNC is down to their last life here, 2-1 Lamar.
That was a strong performance from Lamar. Great ult cycling a lot of the time, able to cap the point without big investment. As we see the play of the game from Sean, nice little headshots. But yeah, I think it was really the ult cycling that came out from Lamar that really elevated them there.
Yeah, and I think you pointed it out mid-map, but that fight that really changed everything was Psychic dying to the High Noon.
Yeah.
And you win a fight with just High Noon, which is often referred to as a throwaway ultimate. It's sometimes unironically meme-like just used to reload as a strategic decision. That's how bad of an ult it can sometimes be. But in this scenario, the Cassie's kind of shuffled around the map a bit with the help of his team and is able to find Psychic kind of hidden behind those boxes at the last moment.
Yeah.
And that kind of sways any chance that UNC had of winning Junkyard. And so then from then on it was 2-0, and it was going to be hard mountain for UNC to climb.
Yeah, and even if UNC loses Junkyard, right? If there had been a big kind of scrappy fight, like we've been seeing a lot in this match, big scrappy ult fights with a lot of ults used.
Yeah.
If you get both ults out, support ults out for Lamar, you're feeling pretty good going into like UNC had the positioning for third point, but with their ult disadvantage, it just wasn't going to happen. And so yeah, being able to win that fight with only one ultimate is just that was the turning point really of that map, because either UNC wins Junkyard and then it's 1-1, or UNC loses Junkyard, but a lot of ults are expended for Lamar, and they're unable to snowball as effectively.
Yep. So now we're going to be headed on to push. It will be UNC's map choice. I believe it's going to be Colosseo, is what I'm being told. So Colosseo, let's talk a little bit about that map. It's a map that I enjoy that you hate. I think it's
don't know how you enjoy that map, but
well, I have fun. I'm here for a good time, not a long time. You can hear my voice already going. See, this is the rigors of not casting for a whole few months, and now I'm back. Anyway, I think it's gonna be it's gonna lend itself a lot to these kind of Orisa comps again, as you get these kind of wide corridors, at least the main corridor, where basically everybody and their mother is throwing as much damage as they possibly can to whatever is standing in front of them, which is often the tank. Gee, I wonder why you don't like this map as much. But so I expect to see a lot of Orisa on this map. What I'm interested to see is will Psychic come out on the Zenyatta again?
It will be interesting to see, because on one hand, I think this is a map where very fast rush comps can do really well. Yeah. On the other hand, though, this map has probably its most notorious section is the long Coliseum little arch-like hallway.
Yeah.
Some of the longest sight lines maybe in the game, to be honest. It is extremely long for definitely on any push map. Really long sight line, which is perfect if you play something like Zenyatta or Hanzo, which UNC was loving on King's Row.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of using like the longer first point sight lines from Sean on Hanzo, from Psychic on Zen, even from on the Bastion pick as well. So I think it'll be interesting to see kind of what approach UNC actually opts into. Do they play that kind of pick-oriented comp, or do they play the more team-oriented like rush comp?
Yeah, and if you're Lamar there, you just had a bit of a role switcheroo go on.
Yeah.
And it kind of worked out pretty well for you.
It got results.
I'll be curious to see what they opt to do, who they have on tank, who they have on what other heroes, as we are getting our way into Colosseo, the beautiful views of Rome.
It's a pretty map, I'll give you that.
Yeah. I agree. I also think Paris was a pretty map, but
it was. Neither of them play well.
One of them plays much better.
Stan Paris, bring it back.
Oh no, there ain't no way. There ain't no way. All right.
Stan Paris.
Well, as I get a new co-caster here, we're gonna take a look around this beautiful map.
I did see the a not insignificant movement to get Horizon Lunar Colony brought back to the map rotation. That would be interesting. a map with a zero grav area
Yeah,
was
that
in
would
a competitive mode.
that would certainly be was referred to as a choice.
It was definitely a choice to make that map and to make it the way it was. As UNC, I mean, if they're sticking on this, this is exactly what we saw them get success on King's Row.
Yeah, kind of as I suspected, going for that Orisa, going for that Zenyatta. It's just going to be a matter of whether or not they can stand up to this more rush-oriented comp. You see, Lamar is on the same rules they were on the last map, so sticking to what brought them success on Flashpoint here for push.
For Lamar, it's going to be about being decisive here, I think, and making plays quickly, because the longer the fights drag on, the more it will favor UNC, because you're going to have somebody miss positions against Bastion, or Psychic finds a headshot, or Sean finds a headshot. There's just a lot of opportunities for UNC's comp to get more picks than Lamar's. So the longer the fight drags on, it's going to be in favor of UNC, and
well, there's the first
Sean
pick.
didn't need much time.
Yeah, it's going to be Sean. And so as long as El Fuego doesn't lose too much health here, he's about half, by getting topped up by Bradley. UNC should be able to take advantage of this
He
here.
needs to push.
Yeah, and they do get some space. Sean's going to pop his turret for him, and that'll help deal a decent amount of damage. Not able to find any kills just yet, other than that first one.
Sean gets split.
Oh, Sean gets kind of zoned there, and is unable to stay alive. UNC trying to find this damage. They're kind of dumping it into this front line, but the supports on the side of Lamar are able to keep the tank up, but they aren't able to keep Arc up on the Soldier. And Psychic again finding another pick, and with the help of a spear and Discord Orb, they're just melting the front line. Still, Psychic and El Fuego both taking a decent amount of damage,
Orisa.
but the kills are still going the way of UNC. I mean, if you don't like standing and choke with an Orisa, you don't like Overwatch,
If you like Orisa,
right?
you have come to the right stream.
Yeah, El Fuego is
that was Orisa Gaming that I just witnessed.
That was a masterclass in Orisa, I'd say.
Yeah.
One way or another.
Both of them stood there, tanked Discord Orbed Hanzo headshots for about a minute, and UNC comes out on top.
Yeah, and if you want to see how much healing is going on in these comps right now,
yeah, it's a lot.
Both support ults are already online for Lamar, including the beat, which they won't have now. What a massive pick by Sean. That's going to buy UNC a decent amount of time here. Although they will get traded out onto Spasmatism, so they're going to invest the Dragon from Sean. He finds a little bit of damage. He's actually going to do some zoning, trying to take out that Bastion, and he does. Nice job by the Dragon, using it as a zone. Forcing Fade also from this Moira. Sean falling very weak, 14 HP. Will fall, but hits the fadeaway shot. And the beat comes out way too late, but El Fuego actually dies in the meantime. This fight's going back and forth and back and forth. UNC's gotten some good progress, but I think it's going to fall for them right here. This will be the end of it. Psychic's going to run for the hills. I don't think they'll last long.
Yeah, UNC gets their push stifled here. Beat is used from Lamar, and Onion onto the Echo, which is a pick we haven't seen yet from either team tonight. Definitely a solid option. A little risky into Bastion.
Yeah, I was going to say
if you misplay your positioning, you are not going to have fun.
Yeah, the biggest threat is that Bastion. You can definitely play around it, but you have to play around it or you are dead.
Absolutely.
It's going to be the artillery barrage. UNC's been starting a lot of fights with this barrage. Unable to find anything, but it actually does force a bit of spacing, and Psychic is able to take advantage of it as the Echo shows their head. Psychic again playing the Discord, helping take down the Lucio as well. UNC is going to be able to retake this rather comfortably. Actually, we have an engagement here. We have a Soldier not being used. The lamp is popped by Bradley, and El Fuego's going to try to say, hey, get off of my supports here. You're not allowed to kill anything with the Soldier and all. Nice job by him and keeping everybody from being damaged there. And a nice pick again. Psychic find a lot of damage, and Spasmatism will finish. El Fuego looking to find some damage onto his Orisa counterpart in the meantime. Nice job from UNC here, though. They had a very clean re-engage, and then they survived that Soldier and all. If they're able to take out this Orisa, and they are, nice job by Bradley there with that window. And UNC's able to capitalize. They're going to keep pushing this cart. They should get butt scratch here.
And Swid, what a lot of people see as the most infamous part of this map, as we see more Orisa gameplay, what a lot of people see as the most infamous part of this map is that corridor in the Coliseum. But to me, it's this brutal area that UNC is now mostly past. As did they hit butt scratch? I think they did.
They did. They definitely did. The Echo clone is going to come out as well as the Cole, and so it's a big investment, but it's not going to be before UNC is able to get that checkpoint. So, you know, if you're Lamar, you win the fight, but you are now significantly disadvantaged having not gotten the first checkpoint.
Is
stops.
it passed?
I thought I heard it go
I
off.
thought I heard it too. I'm trying to look at the my visual here and see if that little diamond is filled in. It is.
Our prod is telling
okay.
us it is, so that's good.
So that's really
if
big
you're a UNC
for
fan
UNC.
here.
That is the only checkpoint that's on this map.
We have an
Alfuego
aggressive
goes
engagement
deep.
from Alfuego. Kind of zoning with the Dragon as well, and he's able to find a kill onto the Orisa. UNC has used that Terra Surge and Dragon combo a few times tonight, especially on King's Row, and I think this might have been the most successful iteration of that so far. Nice job there. And a very aggressive re-engage. UNC not letting Lamar do anything here. And trying to chase down these last kills. Nice job there.
Yeah, and as they've taken the only checkpoint that exists on a push map, that kind of little, we call it butt scratch because of the animation that the robot performs.
Yeah.
Actually, no, I don't think they had it.
No, they haven't. They're,
Oh, they
because
have
they're already
it. Oh, yeah,
pushing
they just
automatically
okay.
here.
Yeah,
they
so
unlocked
they're
forward
pushing.
spawn, and so UNC, Alfuego will kind of cycle around this. He wants to get up towards where Psychic is, actually. He wants to hold this corner of the bridge. Actually gets slept.
He's going to get
And now there's going to be artillery barrage coming out. It's a big lamp from Bradley, but will he be able to keep his team all the way up? And he is. Alfuego actually finds the ulting Orisa, and UNC is currently winning the numbers game. They'll pop the Baptiste ult and Bradley.
No.
He's able to avoid the skill orb from the Moira, but will eventually fall. UNC will still be able to find a few clicks of percentage here. And actually, it's going to be a bit of a reset there from the Ana. And so UNC is able to collect a few more percentage here. I'll be curious to see if they back off having lost Bradley Chi.
Pushing past this corner, and just like you said, Sam, they're going to do exactly that. Pushing past that corner, though, is excellent. I'm really glad they got that before they backed off, because that is extremely hard to actually get past, especially like in a last fight scenario.
Yeah, I like that they
Lamar.
backed off here, but I do got to say, I think they're a little bit too far back. I think they're giving a bit too much respect, and now they...
Psychic putting that pressure on.
Yeah, Psychic is. Lamar has a pretty good grasp of this high ground now, so it's going to be up to Sean to try to find something here with the help of his sonar arrows. Not finding much so far. And it's actually going to be a Sojourn ult pop first to start the engagement. And two go down on the side of UNC. Sean's Dragon is able to find one, but it's a bit too little too late. As UNC looks like they're going to not be able to survive this. And they will get a big exit kill, though, onto the Hanzo. And as Alfuego finally falls, UNC finding two in that fight is actually pretty big. You know, push is a map type where if you lose anybody, it makes it very much more difficult to try to get through it, especially considering that Lamar has not gotten the butt scratch yet, the checkpoint. It's going to be a bit difficult until they can get their players all the way back.
You can think about it this way. I mean, Lamar is currently pushing away from their respawning teammates, which is what you have to do on push to push the cart.
Yeah, UNC's going to drop here, and Sean's actually going to pop his turret form. Is able to burn down one. Terror Surge from the Orisa is going to come through. Don't think it found any kills, but it doesn't really matter. It does its job kind of zoning. And UNC is looking pretty healthy on this point, despite the fact that Ember has popped this Coalescence. And UNC's going to be trying to chase down these kills here in the meantime. Hanzo kind of hit in the corner, actually does find one onto Bradley, and so that's probably the most important pick you can get. Will stall out UNC, similar to how I was just describing the stalling from Lamar. But the reset of the Orisa will also buy UNC some time as well.
Yeah, we see Arc going on to the Ashe and Onion onto the Sojourn, which I think actually frees up Sean a little bit without a mirrored Hanzo. Neither of those are going to one-shot him, but he will one-shot both of them, which is a big advantage in duels.
Yeah, you can see UNC just not able to completely fight yet because they had to wait for Bradley to get back. He's now back, and it looks like this fight is going to occur in this main corridor. And that's kind of an advantage for UNC because they do have this window, so they might not even need it. They actually do pop it, but the pick comes first out from Spasmatism. He's doing some work here on this Bastion, shooting through this window, trying to find something. Unable to really do so.
That's a lot of damage if it hits, yeah.
Yeah, it's a good job kiting away for Lamar. But still, they are able to find a kill. Again, this Orisa falls. It seems like UNC's done a good job of using their Discord, using their abilities, being able to burn down this horse, this frontline presence. And it's basically the only presence that Lamar has because the rest of their team is not very good at surviving on this point. So, you know, sometimes there are certain DPS, sometimes even supports that can, you know, contest this point for a while. But when you're on these kind of squishy heroes, these snipers, it's not going to be that way. And so UNC is able to take a massive lead here.
Another
and they're still holding on to Psychics. Psychics all, and Spasmatism finds another kill. Aggressive Orisa positioning here. Could see a Terror Surge soon.
Oh, Psychic actually dies.
Yeah, Psychic dies, although the Terror Surging Orisa is taken out here. Fade is forced, and Alfuego's falling very weak. He's probably going to fall here. Yes, he does. UNC trying to find whatever kills they can as they back out here. Bradley actually kind of retreating to this corner. I'm not sure they see him. They finally do. Still, UNC has a pretty big advantage.
120 meters for UNC is going to be the number. That is a very impressive push. That is almost the entire map.
Yeah, UNC could have about 3 fights here if they play their cards right. And again, crucially, Lamar has to wait to unlock this checkpoint. They do not have the butt scratch advantage that UNC had 5 minutes ago or so.
Any one fight is the game for UNC here.
Exactly.
They're going to get multiple tries.
They're going to use Spasmatism first, and they're going to try to collect a kill onto this Ana, and they do. Nice job from Spasmatism, isolating the target that is most vulnerable. You see a Sojourn ult being popped, as well as a Dragon. Ult's coming out from both sides. Both teams trying to find something, and it's going to be El Fuego finding 2 kills. Great job using his Terror Surge. He's able to get aggressive. The Cole is not going to matter. The Bob is not going to matter. They come far too little, far too late. And UNC will watch the final seconds tick down on push.
Ooh.
And it's the best 2 words in Overwatch. Map 5.
Oh, boy. Another impressive performance from UNC on that kind of exact comp. They stuck with it, I think, the whole time. I don't think they swapped anything. And they didn't need to. It was working. Just finding these picks is really the name of the game. And I think we saw, like, just how much every member can contribute to that objective, with Spasmatism actually able to find multiple Bastion grenade picks,
yeah,
I believe.
To open up a couple fights, and then he finds the
fights.
artillery barrage, and he smartly, wisely finds that Ana, just clicks all around her with his 3 shots, makes sure that he can collect that vulnerable target. Nothing there to support her.
No.
You know, not a Suzu or anything that could try to keep her alive through that damage.
The
And so
disadvantage
UNC
of
starts
Moira.
with a massive advantage in that fight, and then they just all hit Q.
Yeah, that's the disadvantage of running that Moira. I mean, you're going to get the survivability, you're going to get large healing numbers, but burst damage just don't really have much for that.
Yeah,
no Suzu, no Lamp, just like you said. No trans, nothing that really helps you survive that big burst combo from Bastion, and it's just a free pick for Spasmatism,
Yeah.
and we are going to Rialto for map 5.
Yeah, and I think that's a pretty smart pick from the side of Lamar. I think you know, it's a bit more difficult to run a Zen on Rialto than a couple other maps. Like, it's just because Rialto you can actually play Rush on sometimes if they chose to do so. I don't know if they will. They haven't really shown that look. However, if they aren't able to put pressure on the Zen, I expect Psychic to just eat them up because the sightlines are still long on this map. Like
the
in many
sightlines are
escort
very
maps,
long,
especially on second point.
You can, like you said, you can run a rush here, but it has to be very well done, or else, like you said, these long sightlines will just be brutal to fight into. And it's going to be really hard to rush into, say, an Orisa holding that first corner. So the real thing that you're going to have to do if you're running rush for Lamar on attack is take some kind of creative pathing, take some high grounds. If this is the look, this is new.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see them come out with this.
This is Onion playing their 3rd role of 3 in the game, I believe, because we had support Onion early. Now we had DPS Onion in the last 2 maps, and now we have Tank Onion. Truly inspiring as Senpai goes back to Bastion.
Yeah, I'm not sure what to expect here. This is going to be very interesting. The only constant, it seems, is that Moira. Definitely, it must be a comfort pick for Ember here. Again, we talked about it. You do get some advantage in that survivability, both for the Moira herself and the Tank getting a lot of extra healing. But you know, it's going to be interesting to see how it combos with this comp, and especially if Lamar stays on it.
And this is a comp that they haven't played tonight. It's maybe one they've practiced with Azaria. With Bat Moira, it's a lot of sustain for her, but not a lot of kind of kill threat utility, like offensive utility. So it's really going to be up to like Arc probably to get these picks, and El Fuego on the side of UNC to not get too zoned by this Zarya.
Yeah, I think El Fuego's getting a bit too scared of that flank. I think he just needs to rely on his DPS here to deal with that should it become a problem. Nice Bubble is able to keep up the Bastion, but it's not going to be able to keep up everybody. Sean finds the first pick onto Arc, and El Fuego, he gets melted by that Bastion form. I think he forgot that that Lamar is able to run that Bastion as well. They have been kind of opting off of it at points, but he gets burned here. Now it's going to be UNC having to run for the hills a little bit.
it is true that Lamar has played against UNC's Bastion for multiple maps now. They've seen it a lot, and like you said, Lamar's been kind of in and out of using it themselves. Sean's is coming up on a Dragon Strike.
Sean looking to try to challenge here. Will he be able to kill that Widow? He's pretty weak. Gonna need to get healed up by his supports. Now he realizes that Widow is gone, and he's actually gonna get taken out. Actually, excuse me, it was a Sojourn. Sorry. And now it's gonna be very difficult for UNC to try to fight this down. And man,
this is really dangerous.
Spasmatism is getting burnt down. He just can't find anything. El Fuego now trying to stay alive, but UNC just doesn't have the damage now with that. Either the DPS Psychic will fall, and UNC is just waiting for this point to finally go the way of Lamar. And actually, Sean might get. Oh, excuse me, that was.
Oh, you forgot about the new spawn rules.
The new spawn
Master
rules.
Swood.
Yeah. Good job by Sean utilizing the new spawn rules.
Some people forget they exist.
I totally remember.
My support.
I never get caught out. It's the problem.
I see. Yeah, you've already pre-planned every move that the enemy and you will make.
El Fuego is actually swapped to the Zarya. He wants the match, and we have an early window being popped from Bradley. I'm not sure it's gonna be able to find anything though.
80 charge already for El Fuego is going to make him a real damage threat, luckily.
Yeah, still, Lamar's found a ton of court progress, but Sean finds the first pick, and that's going to be more important than any sort of court progress so far. Another pick goes the way of UNC. They're able to take out that Moira post-fade, and now it's about trying to chase down these remaining players. They do get the Bastion. Will they be able to take out this Orisa? They will. So, sorry, excuse me, this Zarya. I'm used to the formats before this.
Yeah.
I'm doing my job very well. Look, I'm so used to seeing Orisa that I see any other tank and I lose my mind.
And every tank is just slowly morphing into Orisa for you in front of your eyes. There is only one tank in the game, and it is Orisa. You must pick it.
Yeah, these days at least. Something to note is that speaking of the Orisa ult that's online, definitely Orisa. The Zarya ult that's online.
Graviton Surge.
The Graviton Surge. It's going to have to be countered by Psychic here, probably. Will they pop the trance? There we go. Comes in at just the right time. El Fuego is able to survive, and the big artillery barrage. And it's actually with the help of El Fuego, going to be able to find some big kills. They do lose Spasmatism at the end, but it's no problem if you're UNC. You win that fight, and you're creeping up to some big ults as well from El Fuego and Sean. You can get that big combo.
Yeah, Grav Dragon, it's a classic. It's been around for a very long time. Not as strong as it maybe used to be with the reduced grav duration. And the still existence of Lamp. But Sean maybe gets a little too...
And you could not afford that. The only ult that's actually online right now for UNC is Sean's. And Lamar, they have 4 ults online, but they might not even need to use any of them.
You have to give here if you're UNC. You have to back. You have the space to do it. This isn't the end of the push.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to opt to do so. I wouldn't be surprised to see... Yeah, I was going to say the Cole, but actually it's going to be first the Baptiste ult. And El Fuego, actually, of all people, is going to get melted. And that's the one pick you probably couldn't have if UNC. I'm not sure it's going to be able to get a recontest.
Yeah, these are staggers. That was a staggered second point for UNC, just not able to actually regroup as 5. Good job by Lamar, though, to play that up tempo, to not just be content pushing cart with that one pick. As we say, Spasmatism almost gets like 3 there.
Yeah, and Bradley's going to pop that Winzo. He wants his ult to be the first one on the field. Will UNC be able to burn? It doesn't look like they get any big targets. Actually, though, a very risky peek coming out from that Bastion. I'm very surprised he opted to do that. And again, we'll see UNC hopefully stabilize here off of that pick. Sean, again, taking this duel with Arc, but I think he'll opt out of that one for this time around.
Yeah, Arc has gotten the better of, I think, the last 2 one-on-one kind of duels that we've seen between these 2 snipers.
Yeah, I'm looking at El Fuego. He's looking for this grab. He's able to collect one. Gonna have to burn this lamp, and he's able to do so. But will UNC be able to find the kill? They do. They find the Baptiste, and that's really big. But El Fuego's very far in. Will he be able to survive here? It looks like he will, maybe. Yes, big lamp coming out from Bradley here. And with UNC establishing themselves on this off angle, it's going to be pretty easy to finish off the rest of this fight. Nice job there from El Fuego, realizing he needs to be aggressive, needs to take out that lamp, using the cover that's provided from that Dragon and his Graviton Surge, and helping finish off those kills, really capitalizing on the space there.
I do think UNC's comp, though it has a lot of defensive merit to it with the Bastion, with the Zen ults, I think it's really is a comp that thrives on attack, where pushes are even more, or picks, sorry, are even more valuable than they are on defense. If you get a pick on defense, they still have 4 minutes, and you know they'll just regroup. But a pick on offense might just win the point for you immediately. So I think
It's going to be an artillery barrage. It's going to be the first ult used, despite the fact that Lamar has 4. And they do find the Baptiste, and so that's really massive as Lamar does not have that window online, but it's going to be a Sojourn ult that will take out Sean, as well as the own artillery barrage used from Lamar. And they find a lot of kills. Psychic is going to be looking death in the face. El Fuego's not going to be able to live here, I don't think.
What a play from Arc to actually turn that. It's low healing for Lamar still, as Nautic is still coming back from spawn. It's just going to be a question of
Sean can't get back to spawn time. I don't think UNC has anyone on the field that can touch.
Actually,
Spasmodism gets out there, and he's actually going to get solo grabbed. He's looking to try to kill this Bastion, but a nice bubble comes out. And in the meantime, Bradley and his window are not able to stand up to this push here from Lamar. El Fuego doing his best to buy as much time as possible, but I think this is just going to be a momentary loss here for UNC. Are able to get the Kiriko out and this Tracer, trying to survive, ducking, dodging, weaving is Sean, but it's just going to be a matter of moments. Finally, another stall comes out from Bradley, and that's going to be at 3 points, 1 minute 06 on the clock for Lamar. They're able to cap here, full cap Rialto.
I think when UNC got that pick onto the Baptiste from Lamar, they kind of thought the fight was over. They were like, oh, well, there's the pick onto the main healer of, well, I guess Lamar kind of running 2 main healers a bit, so there's still plenty of healing with the Moira. But still, finding a valuable pick onto a support usually spells fight win, but Arc said winnable. And Arc was right. Fight, in fact, was winnable for Lamar, and the 2 picks from the Railgun Overclock from Sojourn is able to put it away. This is a tall order now. This is a difficult point to full cap. They're a difficult map to full cap.
Especially when you're going second and the other team knows that they can just take as many fights as they need to. They can take long fights, they can take quick fights, or like fights in rapid succession, I should say.
Yeah.
They know that they just need that clock to hit 0 and they have a chance to win this game.
Absolutely. All 3 of these points can present serious issues. Getting the cart stuck at the end of first point has stumped a lot of teams. Even pro teams have been stuck at the end of first point on this map. Second point can be tricky. That spawn is long. And third point, the spawn is also very long.
Sean trying to find a pick here on the Widow. He'll swap. Kind of similar to how we see usually on King's Row. A Widow kind of peek out, look at down that sight line for a pick. Not able to find it for now. And so it'll be the Bastion and the Hanzo.
Both bubbles onto the Bastion. Still dies.
Still not enough. Psychic trying to pocket as well. There's actually going to be a res that comes out, so that's very well done. El Fuego kind of body blocking, and the lamp is actually burned from Lamar. UNC might be able to regain an advantage here, and they have 100 charge, and they kill a member of Lamar. El Fuego going to pop his bubble. He's going to get very burnt, but it doesn't matter when Sean's able to help suppress some of that damage. He is able to take out the Bastion, and with this big amount of charger coming out, and these kills kind of being a bit staggered here, if UNC is able to take out this Moira, and they will, it's actually not even running, UNC might be able to just cap first here.
Yeah, they're using this kind of bubble Bastion combo. Maybe we've named a new comp today. But the Bastion bubble extravaganza is upon us.
Oh, UNC caps. The window, the lamp comes out. Spasmodism dies, but it does not matter. As UNC has already capped this point, that is really big. And Psyche's able to find a res, so UNC has tempo here. They even take out the Bastion. El Fuego might be able to walk here with as much charge as he has. He's actually going to bubble his Bastion first, and now turns on this Zarya, trying to take them out, and is able to do so. This is massive for UNC.
Yeah, 100 energy Zarya is a major damage threat, as anyone who's played Overwatch understands. And I think this is a really interesting approach, though, for UNC, because we didn't talk about Psychic switching over to Mercy. I think they're really just going all in on Spasmodism's Bastion to try to just carry this home. Give him the damage boost, give him the bubbles, give him the lamp, give him everything. Give him window, which from the character model looks like Bradley is angling.
Oh.
Spasmodism burns on the counter window, though.
Yep. A good counter window is popped, and UNC is actually going to get rolled right back to spawn on that one. A quick little team kill, and it will be up to them to try to find a way to re-engage here, despite the fact that Lamar only used one ult. Now, UNC also only used one ult, but
yeah.
I expect a massive ult fight coming out. I think the key difference here is that the grab not quite online for El Fuego yet, and it is online for Onion.
The key is going to be it does onion grab before El Fuego gets it up, because otherwise it really doesn't matter that he's built
Yeah,
it
exactly.
sooner. But if he grabs fast here, which he is looking like he's gonna, he does.
Yeah, and it's going to be comboed with this artillery, and that's a 3K.
Yeah,
Which is generally referred to as bad if you're on the
Oh,
receiving end. I'm not sure how that kill went. I don't know how
you
Sean
love
found
Hanzo, don't you?
that. What a fun
so
hero. Sean finds a kill there. So it is a bit of an exit pick. Still, UNC is going to have to still go again, find a way to push in. The good news if you're UNC, you didn't use any ults.
Oh, I like this from UNC. They're at least like thinking about this high ground. As they engage with Bastion ult once again. Patient.
Yeah,
Maybe too patient.
Looking for something. Will he get any kills? No, he does force the lamp, but that's going to be it. And so now UNC is going to have to go back to old reliable. It's Grab Dragon. I'm not sure. It does finally find one kill, except kills are traded out. Spasmodism falls. I wonder if Psychic will be able to get this res off. The coal expires here, but Spasmodism dies. Psychic never popped that Valk in this fight. And still, UNC finds two. El Fuego and Sean trying their best to keep this fight alive. El Fuego gonna have to deal with this lamp that's now back online. El Fuego and Bradley and Sean are the only remaining players for UNC, but they're trying to burn down these supports, and they're able to do so. Now turn their attention onto the Zarya. Will they be able to finally find this kill? They will. Still, Ark's gonna be able to re-engage, but I'm not sure if there's any point presence here for Lamar. Yeah. There is not. Wow, great job by Bradley, Sean, and El Fuego turning that fight around when it looked like it was gone.
Yeah, and the good news about Psychic not popping that Valkyrie before they died was they have it now.
Yep.
So it was actually a 9,000 IQ choice.
Big brain play.
Yeah. Because they win anyway. It's the Sigma swap.
That's a huge thing. Doing everything they can to try to.
That could do a lot.
We have a window coming out.
That could be.
UNC's running. Bradley's going to have to pop that lamp in order to keep his team alive.
We've seen a decent amount of Sigma in pro play, as especially a team like the Houston Outlaws are running it every map, because it's just so sustainable.
Spasmodism is very weak, and he is dumping damage into
he doesn't care.
Sigma. He doesn't mind. He's just trying to find anything, trying to melt the shield, but it's not going to be enough. Cannot find any important, crucial damage. Just kind of sends it into that Sigma. And so, despite the fact that Psychic also popped their ult, UNC's not going to be able to find anything in this fight.
You have time if you're UNC. Swaps onto the Orisa, 83 to Grav. I think it's a tough choice.
I think
it's a choice that does make some sense.
Yeah.
I actually think Sigma has a pretty decent matchup into the Orisa. Can rock her out of spin if she's not in her gold.
Yeah, I think if you're
just kind of play away from her and zone her.
I think if you're El Fuego here, you're trying to take the pressure off of Spasmodism. He's getting focused down. You want to say, hey, look at me. I'm a big meaty shield. You should come kill me instead. Not quite able to survive the artillery barrage is UNC. And we should note in the meantime, Psychic has switched to the Zen, so there is no res online. They're kind of going for what brought them here onto this 5th map, trying to survive as El Fuego, but he just can't do all of that damage.
What I want
and time is ticking on UNC here.
What I want from UNC really is to kind of throw a different push in. Either push kind of that right side hallway, maybe with a window.
Ooh, 7 HP for Sean.
Yeah, 7 HP. Or push the left stairs, or kind of go right side and up and across that little walkway that's right above where Sean's cursor is right now. All of these are kind of pushes that aren't just walking down main against Bastion, and they're going to do exactly that.
Yeah,
wow.
So you'll see El Fuego.
It's the opposite of a caster curse.
Yeah.
It's a caster blast.
Caster prediction. El Fuego is going to take this space here up top, and actually it allows time for Sean to pop his hull, and they do find the first kill. Dragon is also used, and now the kill is collected onto the Sigma. Still, they're going to have to find a way to survive this window, and they actually find 2 kills. They do peek it, and they do find the kills. It's actually a team kill for UNC.
I think that was the Immortality field, was kind of positioned really well behind the wall, which allowed for members of UNC to actually peek that Bastion window, which you don't usually get.
Psychic is 87 on this ult, but the Gravitic Flux is online, as is the Miracle. Can Psychic find this in time? They can't. And UNC loses both of their DPS. It's a re-engage. And actually, Psychic's going to opt to pop the trans. They want to win this here, and they want to win this now. 47 seconds left. Terror Surge is going to be used from El Fuego. He can't find any kills. Trying to collect onto that discorded Sojourn, and he does. Still, Lamp comes out. He's going to focus that down. But in the meantime, it's Bradley falling. trying to find anything, trying to take down the discorded targets. They do find the Sigma, and
Bastion
now,
here is a threat.
yes, the Bastion comes out of spawn. Gonna try to find the kills, but Spazmatism is back on the Soldier, and that's a comfort pick for him. El Fuego trying to live, he can't. 2.27 meters left on the cart, trying to burn down this Bastion. His Spazmatism, he finds the kill.
Winston.
But now there's a Winston. UNC cannot survive. It's just Sean on the Tracer, and he can't live. The last second touch is coming out from Lamar as close as you can get. It's going to be up to Bradley to try to find the touch, but he's going to have to probably use his Suzu. He's going to walk out, trying to touch the cart. He gets there just in time. Going to have to teleport back to a member of his team, but there's nobody there, and he will fall. El Fuego going to use his Javelin spin to try to get into the cart, but he's unable to get there, and UNC falls as close can get here on third point Rialto. It's a 0.27 meter difference between a cap and a loss. And UNC will fall 3-2 here on Rialto as we watch Spazmatism get his play of the game.
By millimeters. Every play here really kind of came in and mattered. It was that gravitic flux really put UNC in a tricky spot. Psychic was able to get the trance up. It looked good. But a lot of ults online for Lamar.
Yeah, just when you think that they couldn't find that extra answer, they did. They had the Bastion ult that took out El Fuego. He was unable to escape it, and he was already about sub 250 HP, and I think that is what sealed it for UNC, losing that map. Still, I think something crucial there is that before the Flux was even online, I think UNC managed to lose both DPS. They were able to come back. Spazmatism found 2 kills on the Soldier. I think it might have been 3 actually. And Sean found 2 on the Tracer at the end, but it just wasn't quite enough. And so they lose in very close fashion here on Rialto on map 5.
Yeah, it's really it was really that Winston comeback.
Yeah, too.
It was when I saw Winston jump onto that point in bubble, I was like, it doesn't look good.
No.
It doesn't look good for
If
UNC
they had
now.
El Fuego alive, I think they would have had a chance there.
It definitely would have been a chance, much better chance if El Fuego had managed to survive the Bastion ult. But did not occur, was not to be. As UNC falls 3-2. Very close.
Nonetheless, an extremely close game. Great job by both teams tonight. Really showing some great Overwatch, some interesting Overwatch.
Yeah.
Of course, we started all the way back on Control and had a very fun 100 2-1.
Feels like years ago.
Feels like years ago now. Nonetheless, that's going to be it from us tonight. UNC will start 0-1 with a close 3-2 game against Lamar here. That's going to be it from us. So, as always, I am Masterswood from our friend Mist here from our prod. Thanks for watching, and GDTBATH.